We'll take wins when we can get them. Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to another video here on the Game Vault. I'm Captain Beefy, as always, with the Game Vault, and we're talking a little bit more about Dragon Age today, or as somebody in my comments a couple days ago called it, Drag Queen Age. So let's cue up the music, and we'll get right to it. Alright, these articles are both from That Park Place, and yeah, I love this place. If you haven't subscribed to these guys or joined them or whatever, please do so. But anyway, thatparkplace.com, I will link to both of these stories down below in the description of the video. Dragon Age the Veilguard, queer-rosexual gender mancer game director removes support for Black Lives Matter and trans rights from their ex-bio. Wow. This is kind of interesting. This dude calls himself Corinne Bush, and apparently he's removed support for Black Lives Matters and the so-called trans rights from his ex-bio. As Mark Kern previously described him, as noted by Mark Kern, Bush previously described himself as a trans woman and a queer-sexual gender mancer in his ex-profile. He also had the hashtags, and there they are, trans rights and Black Lives Matter. I remember when this clown first showed up and I looked him up, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And of course, by the time I found it, they were already protected, because that's what these clowns do. They go out there and they make some sort of stupid ass statement. The backlash comes flying their way, and then they go into protected mode because, oh no, people disagree with me and words are hurt. Yeah, suck it. So, Bush updated his profile. He removed the Dragon Age Dreadwolf logo, as well as trans rights and Black Lives Matter hashtags. Furthermore, he's no longer describing himself as a trans woman or a queerosexual gender mancer. The bio only reads game director of Dragon Age. Wow. Somebody slapped you right in the face, didn't they, Corinne? Somebody at BioWare said, you got to get that crap out of there. I'm sorry. If I had a company and I had people working for me, public personas, if they were public personas that interacted with the public and all that in any way, shape, or form, or were high profile, like let's say I ran a website and I had authors that, writers that worked there, journalists, whatever, artists, video guys and all that, I wouldn't want that kind of shit in their profile because it just sounds unprofessional and stupid. I'd say, look professional. I know, certain jobs you have to maintain a certain level of dignity, I guess you could say, on social media, like teachers, for instance, and so forth and so on. You can't just be out there doing stupid crap all the time, although a lot of teachers do. So yeah, but anyway, Kern commented on the change. Dragon Age game director deletes flags and BLM from bio. As soon as the Dragon Age trailer backlash hit, her public values suddenly vanished. His public values. If DEI and SPI values are great and don't hurt sales, why he hiding them? When they just boost sales for the modern audience? He added, we all know gamers and general consumers in America have had enough of the virtue signaling and stories sacrificed for cheap and token representation. Pride events by retail chains canceled at Target, Amazon, and far, far less astroturfing because it does affect sales. And that's not a joke. There's a lot of backlash. A lot of people will make these outcries on social media and all that. I'm not drinking Bud Light. I'm not going to Starbucks. I'm not doing that. And you got quiet people that just, go, you know what? I'm not going to that store anymore. I won't drink Bud Light now. I won't pay money at Starbucks, and that kind of causes trouble sometimes because my girlfriend loves Starbucks and all that. And I hate the fact that she still likes to support that. But, again, she's not as passionate about this type of stuff as I am. If something goes against my values, very often I'm just quietly like, you know what, I'm done. Maybe I spent money on it in the past. I was a big Marvel fan and a big Star Wars fan, right? And enjoyed the movies and all that, the comic books as a kid, not so much as an adult, but the movies were great. When the MCU popped on the scene, I was all about it. I loved it all the way up through the second Spider-Man movie. Was it Far From Home? And then after that, I had Disney Plus for, I think, a year. I bought it for a year. I said, you know what, I'll give it a year's try. There's a lot of new series coming out. I want to see what direction they take things moving into this next phase. And with each new release, I wasn't going to the movies. I didn't go see the oh, what was that? What was that forgettable movie with that ensemble cast? The Eternals. I didn't even go see that in the theater. I didn't see Black Widow in the theater, and I would have seen that in the theater had it come out probably in phase 2 or 3 as it should have. But, now it just felt like this kind of tacked on, like, oh, wait, we need to introduce the next Black Widow, so we better make a movie doing it. And it just felt forced in that way. And I love Black Widow. Scarlett Johansson did a fantastic job with that character. She was a lot of fun. It broke my heart. Spoiler alert. In Endgame, when she sacrificed herself, it was heartbreaking. But I quietly quit. I was like, you know what? I'm done. I can't do this anymore. So I think it was around the time Falcon and Winter Soldier came out, and I was like, this is, that could have been the series that would have kept me around, because I love the Falcon, I love the Winter Soldier. They had already established a kind of buddy cop relationship that was a lot of fun in the movies, and it just seemed like the TV series then ended up going this political route, and it was too racially. They could have done without all that stuff and just made a good series. They could have touched on some of these subjects lightly, to make a point and all that, and to point things out. That's how movies and television used to do it. They used to touch on things lightly, not and just enough to, kind of raise awareness a little bit. Say, hey, this is what's going on in here. Not apply it with a hammer. But yeah, I'm digressing there. So there's a lot of people that are just going to quietly walk away from games like this. And I guarantee you this game is going to crap the bed. I said that the minute I saw this person's profile. I was like, yeah, no. So anyway, it's likely the damage to the game is already done. Back in 2022, Bush made it abundantly clear the game was inherently very queer. He shared that his false identity as a queer trans woman had been injected into the game. He says, as a queer trans woman, I have a perspective on the games that not everyone has. Dragon Age has long been a place where LGBT folks can see people like themselves represented respectfully. It's inherently very queer, and it's such a rare thing for marginalized communities, yada, yada, blah, blah. Same old shit every day from these people. Yeah, so your game's going to fail, boosh. And who are you going to blame? You're going to blame me. You're going to blame the straight white gamer. And you know what? If it's my fault, it's my fault. You know what? You guys talk about representation all the time and how it's important in games. Well, you know what? Maybe I'm not going to play a game unless I'm represented from now on. Maybe if the protagonist or the main character is a straight white male, I'll play it. Otherwise, yeah, no. Black guy? Nope. Woman? Nope. This thing that is probably, I'm going to guess, non-binary? Nope. No, not happening. None of those characters appealed to me. Yeah. No, they gotta look exactly like me. They gotta be jazzed. They gotta be a 55-year-old dude with, with a big beard and all that. Then maybe I'll play it, But, yeah. But moving on from that, Dragon Age, the Veilguard game director confirms all companions are pansexual and that the game features pornography. This right here is beyond disturbing. I mean, I get it. It's an adult game. I'm no prude, okay? I'm no prude. Baldur's Gate had the sex scenes in it. Cyberpunk 2077. I get it. It's in there. And, they're kind of like, oh, wow, that's funny and all that. And yeah, whatever. But I think these people take it way too seriously sometimes. I think this is like the only opportunity they have for a sexual relationship is in a video game. And that's why they make such a big deal about it, right? That's what I'm thinking, because normal people don't play a video game so that they can have sex with other characters. If you can in the game, it's like, oh, okay, Sometimes it's funny. Like, we had a running joke, me and my buddy, about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And he's like, only dudes want to fuck me, And I was like, really? I banged like 5 women in that game. He goes, well, how'd you do that? Because it's only guys with me and all that. And I said, well, the game has this built-in thing that it looks at your search history in Google. And that's when he told me to go to hell. But yeah, it's so stupid, it's an unnecessary part of video gaming. And I think if games started to get away from that, you would start to pan some of these, get rid of some of these weirdos that thrive on that kind of stuff. Because if you're playing a video game for sexual gratification, then you're kind of gross and you're kind of disgusting, and that's really not what video games are designed for. And if they are designed for that, well, maybe they shouldn't be being put out by big studios like this and marketed in the way they're marketed to the mass market. Nobody does that with pornography, right? Videos, movies, anything like that. That doesn't get marketed, and it's not shown at the local theater. It's not, streamed on Netflix and all that. Well, you never know Netflix. But what I'm just saying is, it's a niche market that has a certain level of, there's a certain level of shame to it, I guess, for want of a better word, where, if you want that kind of stuff, well, you got to go find it. You got to go to the store with the sticky floors on it, or you got to go to that website that's going to put bad stuff on your computer and cause it to crash and get viruses and all that. These are the risks you take for that kind of stuff. Why would you release a mainstream game with pornography on it? Why is this going to be available on the Xbox and the PlayStation and all that, where little kids can play it? I mean, that's the thing. It's so readily available for little kids. It's not even funny. You could buy this game, and then your 10-year-old brother could decide to boot it up and play it when you're not home, and then he's pornography. I mean, really? But anyway, IGN's Alex Steadman detailed Bush insists that they're all specifically pansexual, and that might come through in what you learn about their backstories. Bush explained their past experience or partners. They'll reference them and indeed who they'll become romantic with. He continued, for instance, we saw Harding. I might be playing a straight male character flirting with her, but I choose not to pursue a romance. She might get together with Tash. So my perception, my identity has no bearing on their identities, and that comes through really strongly. He went on to detail it's not until the later parts of the game where you really commit to romance, and it gets pretty spicy. As for the sex scenes in the game, they confirm they do occur. Of course, we are an M-rated game. We do have nudity. He elaborated our companions. We want them to be relatable and fully realized so they can get spicy, but in a way I think people actually relate to. Some of them are more spicy than others. Just like real life, our companions have such diverse personalities. Some of them are more physical, more aggressive, and some of them are more... We have a gentleman necromancer, for instance, that is more intimate and sensual, he concluded. Bush's comments came in the wake of him confirming that the entire Dragon Age franchise was inherently very queer. And we go through all this garbage again. What do you think of that? I mean, it's such a weird thing to say, we're going to put pornography in the game. I get having the romance options and all that. Unfortunately, that's in a lot of games these days. It's something I never really cared about before. I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. It's it's funny, and like I said, in games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you're like, oh, let me see if I can bang this one and bang that one, oh, I banged that guy's wife, oh, I banged my brother's wife, and all this other stuff. Wow, I'm a real monster here, it was a Viking, I'm a Viking, what do you want me to do? I'm a Viking in that game. It's just so silly, but it's not, I didn't sit there and God, I didn't project myself into the character and all that. And the game and the scenes were not pornographic. They were just a cutscene that was kind of suggestive, and everybody had their clothes on. It was like, all right, whatever, it's done, it's over. It's really, really funny. But yeah, Dragon Age the Veilguard. This game is doomed. I guarantee it. Mark my words. So we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. As always, I'm Captain Beefy with the Game Vault. If you haven't done so, please leave a like on the video. Down below, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Ring that bell for notifications, and let me know in the comments what you think of all this nonsense. Do you think romantic options in gaming should be like a thing of the past? Maybe we could, cut away a lot of these weirdos, all these freaks and all that, and all this gayness in the games that's just ruining things. If we just stopped with the romance and just kind of like left it as, hey, it's an adventure game, go have an adventure. If you want a game to jerk off to, go buy a porno game. I'm sure they're out there. And have fun with that, you weirdos. Alright, I'll see y'all next time. Until then, peace.